Rebound rally fueled by drop in oil prices. So the S&P 500 rallied 2.6% on Wednesday, the 9th of March 2022, just this session that closed. So this was as the buy the dip efforts were emboldened by a 12% drop in oil prices. It's now trading at $108.88, a loss of 14.88%, or a loss of $14.88. The Nasdaq gained 3.6%, the Russell 2000 gained 2.7%, and the Dow Industrial Average gained 2%. The pullback in oil was due to a confluence of factors, including hopeful sounding rhetoric from Russia and Ukraine in front of ceasefire talks tomorrow. The UAE vouching support for OPEC to increase production, and the news that US officials want Venezuela to increase oil exports to the states in exchange for an ease in sanctions. A 12% decline for a commodity that is still up 45% for the year was the type of drawdown needed to revive risk sentiment, even if macro environment was still inflationary. It is too early to know if oil peaked for the near term, but there was hope that consumers could start to see relatively lower prices at the gas pump. So with this 12% decline in the price of oil, I don't really think there's going to be any change. The contracts are still very much up 45%. So, but it hasn't been rallying the price, because obviously these oil prices we're seeing are largely contracts. So the longer they remain, the longer the price of oil remains higher, then the longer we are likely to see higher gas prices at the pumps. But for now, in the coming months, yes, there's a good chance we're going to see that. But for the future contracts, for the contracts in December of this year, they haven't yet increased as such. They haven't increased yet, because this rally we're seeing, is just still very much it's been going on for just a few days. So the contracts that have been behind this rally are the contracts that are just in the near term. So stocks that were hit the hardest this month were among the biggest gainers today, particularly those in the S&P 500 information technology. They gained 4%, financials 3.6%, communication services 3.5%, and consumer discretionary 2.9%. The energy sector lost 3.2%. On the other hand, fell 3% amid the weaker oil prices, while the utility sector lost 0.08%, which was only a sector that closed lower. Both sectors remain higher for the month, so there was likely some profit taking activity in the groups. Bumble was an individual standout, with shares soaring 42% on better than feared earnings results. Besides the scope of today's gains, the risk on mindset was corroborated by declines in the CBOE volatility, the US dollar index, gold prices, and the treasury prices. To be fair, treasuries would have been pressured by an acknowledgement that one trading day doesn't remove inflationary pressures, and that the Fed is still on track to hike rates multiple times this year, starting next week. On a related note, $35 billion worth of 10-year treasury notes auctions received a lukewarm demand. The 2-year yield increased 4 basis points to 1.6%, and the 10-year increased 8 basis points to 1.9%. Okay, reviewing the Wednesday's economic data, job openings in the US increased to 11.263 million in January, from a revised record high of 11.448 million from 10.925 million in December. The weekly MBA mortgage application index rose 8.5%, following a 0.7 decline in the prior week. So that's just a fair roundup of what's happened with the market. So what are the waves telling us about the S&P 500? So This is just a chart of what happened in the last trading session. So let's bring it down to the 1 year again, and let's quickly look at the weekly chart. Yeah, let's look at the weekly. So if you look at the weekly, we can see we have the waves going on here. It's just a decline, a steady decline. You can see that. Let's get the week, which was, this is the week of the 6th of December. Okay, so let's start from here. This is the week ending of 27th of this is January, 10th of January. Decline, an attempt again to rally, decline. So we are seeing lower lows at the moment. That's what we're seeing. And then on the monthly, let's look at the 2 years. We'll see the monthly there. You can see the monthly. Yes, this is the monthly as well. All of these are the waves are pointing downwards. So so far on the weekly chart, we are the trend on the weekly chart is a bearish one, evidently, and even on the daily one, on the daily chart, it's a bearish one. And also on the one, just as we saw as well on the weekly chart, also it's a bearish one. No attempt to there are attempts to extend, but there's a lot of resistance there. And here we also see in the monthly, everything is pointing downwards. So what we don't have yet is the quarterly chart. So going by all of these things, it will be fair to expect that the S&P is likely to continue to retrace. Yes, that's based on just the technicals alone. That's what expect that to be the case. So all in all, moving on, we can go ahead and see what's going on with what happened with Kamba Energy. Kamba Energy was the most active stock in this session of the 9th of March 2022. It lost 13.71 million shares, and 13.71%. 208.11 million shares crossed the tape. Okay, the top movers, we have that. It was mostly the calls that lost. Even some puts did lose some value there. So moving on, let's have a look and see the next one. Next stock will be MULN, MULN, MULN Automotive. It lost 7.26% and unchanged in this pre-post market session. 109.672 million shares crossed the tape as well in this session, and is also optionable as well. So the next one is DRCT, Direct Digital Holdings. It gained 107.5%. Let's see whether there's any news behind that rally. There isn't any news. Okay, there is some news. Yes, let's see what the news was, or what the news is. Pigeon Forge Department of Tourism re-ups Direct Digital Holdings Orange 1424 Digital Media Services in new 5-year agreement. So let's see what this is saying here. Same thing as well. Okay, a 5-year agreement with digital what's it called? Digital Holdings, Direct Digital Holdings. So it's a contract, a 5-year contract, I believe, that is behind this rally. It's not optionable. 105.615 million shares crossed the tape for DRCT. Okay, so let's look at SBFM. Sunshine by Pharma. It closed at $3.8, a gain of 150%. I believe it was at its 52-week low yesterday, I believe. Okay, so there isn't really any specific news. I think it's just a buy the dip opportunity that got it there. So Sunshine by Pharma, 65.794 million shares across the tape. During that session, it's not optionable. Okay, let's look at REVB. Revelation Biosciences, it gained 83.82% to close at $1.7, but it has lost 2.94 in this post-market session. No news, just there was a halt at some point, 12:34 p.m. Eastern. It's not optionable. 24.772 million shares across the tape in that session. Yeah, so that's roundup of what's going on. So you know very well, the Dow gained 2%, Nasdaq gained 3.95, S&P 500 gained 2.57%. So let's see where the S&P is right now. Okay, it's at 42. This S&P futures is at 4272 at the moment. Those in Wellington, New Zealand, and Tokyo and Sydney are the ones who are trading at the moment. Yes, they are the ones that are trading right now, I believe. Yeah. So let's see where oil is. Oil futures, oil. Okay, US crude closed at 107.39. Brent crude has no figure there. Okay, so thank you all very much for watching this video. I will continue to update you.